The free and Hanseatic city of Hamburg on the Lower Elbe is a gateway to the world at the crossroads of international trade routes. Closely linked to the world's most important trading centers. A great location for your global partners and easy to reach for anyone at any time. Hamburg's port, a hub of the global economy, its markets and manpower. A universal port for all kinds of cargoes. A distribution center to and from Europe, with a spectrum of services covering the entire transport chain. Hamburg, a paperless port, with a highly developed infrastructure, is equipped for the new millennium. Over the centuries, the harbour, where trade in herrings, beer and timber began over 800 years ago, has successfully grown into one of the world's most productive cargo handling centres. Hamburg has always been a port where goods were not just loaded and unloaded, but also packed, processed, enhanced and intelligently distributed. For example, coffee. Thanks to state-of-the-art storage and processing technology, Hamburg is now Germany's leading coffee port. Hamburg is also one of the world's top 10 container ports. More than 80 million tons of seaborne cargoes a year are handled in this port. Effective logistics and distribution depots, backed up by powerful computer systems, steer the flow of goods to markets all over the world. Hamburg, one of Europe's leading foreign trade centers, lies at the crossroads of expanding markets. An excellent transport infrastructure connects Hamburg with a pan-European market of more than 400 million people. What's more, political developments in Europe in recent years have given the port a lucrative hinterland, with fast-growing consumption figures, opening up brand new opportunities for the Port of Hamburg's partners. Hamburg is right in the middle of its markets. Linked to the open sea by the River Elbe, Hamburg enables even the world's biggest ships to moor in their marketplace. And dredging work ensures things stay that way. The port is now accessible for 5th and 6th generation container ships and bulk carriers of any size, and will stay so in future. Day and night, ships can tie up at more than 300 berths along nearly 50 kilometers of quays with no trouble at all, thanks to assistance given by pilots, buoys, tugs and radar. Well-developed waterways linking Hamburg with Scandinavia, Central and Eastern Europe have made the port an important European distribution centre. Barges can ply between Hamburg and the most important inland ports on Europe's inland waterway system. Europe's leading economic centres are accessible by rail, most on an overnight basis. Hamburg is Europe's biggest rail container handling centre. A large proportion of the freight is carried to and from Hamburg by rail, and the volume transported is rising, especially to and from Eastern Europe. Thanks to block train services run by German Rail and the private sector, the port is linked to destinations throughout Europe. The chance, especially for overseas exporters, to profit from expanding import markets. A closely knit road and motorway network makes for fast transport. And just-in-time transactions possible anywhere in Europe, 24 hours a day, for containerized and general cargo and all kinds of special cargoes. The opening of a 4th tunnel under the Elbe will bring Europe even closer together. Anything produced anywhere in the world has to be transported to the right place by the right means quickly and reliably, whether as bulk, general or containerized cargo. To speed up transport and shorten transit times, the Port of Hamburg has developed into a multifunctional distribution and logistics center to everybody's advantage. Customers can concentrate on manufacturing and marketing their products, while port and forwarders synchronize, coordinate and control the entire logistics of cargo distribution. When it comes to general cargo, Hamburg doesn't just move goods, it implements concepts. Concepts that begin at the manufacturer's factory and don't end till the goods have reached their destination. Concepts customized to the specific needs of each and every product. Cars, for example, are not just shipped from A to B, but even polished up, quite literally, in Hamburg's port. Such in-depth services are being continually extended to cover all sectors. Storage, quality controls, analysis and processing are carried out in the free port, and that facilitates trade. Many of the port's warehousemen have been sworn in as auxiliary tax officials or a certified Chamber of Commerce surveyors, and that creates a sure legal basis for trade. In Hamburg, personnel from port and forwarding companies assist with customs clearance and dealing with official regulations. Order picking and distribution of easily perishable goods are just two of the services provided. Modernizing the entire throughput process increases cargo handling speeds, drastically reduces transit times, and ensures expert storage of fresh goods. Any product, whatever its size or quantity, can be packed in this port by firms competing with each other for business. In one of the world's most modern depots for dangerous goods, nearly all common categories of dangerous substances or goods can be safely stored and handled logistically, in line with responsible care principles and certified to ISO standards. Even though Hamburg has its CellPap terminals, little paper is actually used in the port. In this paperless port, EDI is the key to efficient information logistics. All areas of the port are networked. Key operators, shipping companies and liner agents, import and export firms, public authorities and carriers exchange all their data electronically. Investment in the virtual infrastructure of container handling, i.e. improved operational sequences and consistent use of data transfer facilities, is significantly speeding up container throughput and drastically reducing lay times. State-of-the-art discharging technology has optimized all loading and unloading procedures to such an extent that any size of container ship can leave the port within a day. What's more, satellite, laser and radar technology means every one of the port's partners now knows where his goods are at any given time. The future has already begun in container handling. In growth terms, Hamburg is one of Europe's leaders and enjoys above-average growth rates, even by world standards. More than 250 shipping lines provide round-the-world links. There are an average of 3 sailings a day to East Asia alone, plus all-round container services, ultra-modern facilities for reefers, expert container stuffing for all kinds of goods, storage, care and repair of empty containers, and regular initial and further training for a wide variety of jobs all contribute to ensuring high-quality port services. By lengthening quays and filling in old basins, Hamburg is literally gaining ground for more growth. The port has already equipped itself for the doubling of container traffic forecast for the next 10 years. For example, at Altenwerder Container Terminal, CTA. Here, Europe's most modern freight distribution center with continuous two-stage container handling is currently being built on a site of over 200 hectares. At present, the most ambitious project on the port development scene. Each year, Hamburg's public and private sectors invest around €250 million in expanding and extending the port. Perspectives for the future. Hamburg's bulk cargo sector has also seen enormous investment in recent years. Bigger and bigger ships require faster and faster handling and increasingly large storage capacities. But quantity is not everything. The quality of the service has to be right as well. For example, in handling grain, oilseed and fodder. After cargoes have been accurately weighed, controlled for quality and stored properly, the port's partners help to transport goods to their destinations by the best possible means, wherever the customer may be. The free and Hanseatic city of Hamburg, the seat of numerous consulates, soon saw the opportunities presented by the challenge of globalization and has now developed into a modern services center of worldwide renown. With new projects such as Hafen City, Hamburg is shaping its future face for the new millennium. And the quantum leap from a port to a logistics industry has been successfully concluded through determined restructuring measures. Port of Hamburg, hub of a new millennium.